can hear for yourself how that went down with the Mexicans inside the Luzhniki Stadium on what now is a slightly overcast afternoon, or early evening in fact, here in Russia, but still very, very humid in terms of the conditions that these players are going to open up their fixture and to get Group F underway. Manuel Neuer then is in goal, a goalkeeper who fractured his foot twice in the space of 6 months and was a real scare coming into it, but the world's number one, the undisputed number one for Germany, after only 4 appearances for Bayern Munich, takes his place to captain Germany in goal. Kimmich the right back, Boateng and Hummels at the heart of their defence. No Hector, who's ill, so Marvin Plattenhardt will start at left back. Kroos and Khedira the two holding midfielders. Müller on the right, Özil central behind Timo Werner. Draxler will play on the left. Germany, white shirts, black shorts, white socks. Mexico, green shirts, white shorts and red socks, and this is their starting lineup. Ochoa is in goal, a back four of Salcido, Ayala, Hector Moreno, Gallardo at left back. Guardado and Hector Herrera, the two holding in midfield. Miguel Layén on the right-hand side. Irving Lozano, Carlos Vela behind Javier Hernandez, Mexico's record goal scorer. There is yet to be a European side who's tasted defeat so far in this World Cup competition, Pat Nevin. How do you think that the holders will fare?
I mean, you never really bet against the Germans when they need to do something, particularly this early in the competition. We know that they've had a limited build-up, and it's not been absolutely brilliant for them, but they've got the game heads on, I'm sure, just now. And if they play to their best, they should win this. But you and I sat and watched the game last night, where I think most people didn't expect Iceland to get anything at all out of that game. And I think most people watched it and said although they had a limited amount of possession, just going by chances and by work rate and effort put in, they deserve the point they get. So that's exactly what the Mexicans have to do today.
Well, they will have a point to prove, I'm sure, because last June in Sochi in the Confederations Cup, Germany won 4-1. Goretzka with 2 goals, Werner and Younes, Marco Fabian with a consolation in the 89th minute. We have an Iranian referee, Alireza Fagrani, as at the moment Javier Hernandez, as Mexico are going to get this game underway, but Javier Hernandez is actually on his knees and praying as he looks up to the sky here in Moscow. It is another great atmosphere. We're ready to go. Germany are about to embark on the defence of their World Cup title that they won in Rio de Janeiro 4 years ago. They start against Mexico to a huge cheer here in Moscow. Will they be back for the final in mid-July? You wouldn't discount the Germans, because they just have a knack, despite all of their problems. In the build-up to this, remember, they've only won 1 of 6 friendlies since they qualified, and that was against Saudi Arabia. But they just have a knack of getting it right. As I was saying to Rachel Burton on 5 Live Breakfast, and Rachel, of course, is in Volgograd ahead of England's opening game. We'll have build-up of that between 6 and 7 tonight, where we'll focus ahead of England's opener on the eve of that match against Tunisia, as Mexico, playing from right to left, now have the ball with Hector Moreno, plays it forward, Hernandez to Vela. Vela slips it in, they've made the run into the penalty area, and in the end it was Gallardo who'd come up all the way from left back, fired off the shot off his right foot. Goal-saving challenge coming in, and the ball deflects away behind for a corner kick.
Well, first of all, I think he's probably off-saving, the ball's played through there, but Boateng's tackle there, you're right, it is a goal-saving. I mean, he's got Manuel Neuer to be, but he's only 7 yards out. Boateng quick over there, very, very strong, had to be.
Corner kick for Mexico. Oh, still bobbing around in the penalty area, and Neuer picks it up. It actually struck Plattenhardt, I think it was, the left back, struck his shins, rebounded back into a central area in the 6-yard area, and Neuer was quick to dive on the ball as Mexico look for a high press to try and put Germany under pressure. And listen to the boos now. Hoots of derision from the Mexican supporters as Germany are in possession.
I tell you what, that's a shaky start. I mean, a very, very good start, you have to say, from the Mexican team. They've not shown any fear. They've tried to push the ball forward as quickly as possible. Really nice touch in the build-up to that first chance there by Hernandez. He really comes alive when he plays for Mexico, doesn't he? But you're absolutely right. That's shaken slightly the Germans. Let's see how they react to it. But they could have scored twice already, Mexico.
Plattenhart's forward, finds Draxler. Draxler comes back inside. The return ball just went away from him. It was cleared away on that far side by Salcido. Here is Boateng for Germany. White shirts, black shorts, playing from left to right, short of the halfway line. Forward ball. Kimmich is forward, likes to get forward at every opportunity, as we've seen for Bayern Munich, and it's Kimmich slides it in. Werner's round the back, across the face of goal, always going away from goal as Ochoa made the dive away to his right-hand side, but the blonde-haired German striker was never going to trouble the Mexicans on that occasion.
Yeah, but what about the pace, though? We talk about his pace. He is lightning quick there, and he leaves Ayala miles behind. In fact, he leaves the entire Mexican defence miles behind. Ayala isn't the first choice there, but just the first opportunity, and that's what the Germans want to do. Nothing complicated about it. Just put it in an area behind the defenders and let Timo run for it. And by the way, he's one of those, he's a little bit stocky. He doesn't look the quickest. He is lightning.
And his record as well is terrific at international level. 14 caps, 8 goals. Here is Werner. Kimmich behind him, midway through the Mexican half. He goes back to Boateng. He's on the halfway line. Boateng will come forward now. Mexico drop off, although they're still left Vela and Hernandez in forward positions, as Germany will have a throw-in. I notice that both coaches appear to be wearing pumps, the white soles of Juan Carlos Osorio with his suit, a little bit more casual for Joachim Löw with his trademark black t-shirt, black trousers, and Tony Pulis white pumps away to our left-hand side. 0-0, 5 live, 4 minutes played. Pat Nevin and Ian Dennis with you here in the Luzhniki Stadium. And of course, if it's also on BBC television, but it's always the case, you can press your red button and you can listen to the 5 live commentary as well as watch the pictures. It does give you that option. Werner makes the run. Out of play it goes. Werner, though, will get a throw for Germany. Level with the penalty area. He leaves it for Kimmich. Kimmich wants to take it. Haven't mentioned Müller so far. What a record he's got at World Cups. 5 goals in each of his previous 2 World Cups as Kroos goes back to Boateng. So we saw the Argentinians yesterday, Pat, in the Spartak Stadium jumping up and down in unison. Pockets of green shooting up like leaves all over the place here in the Luzhniki Stadium and creating another fantastic atmosphere here in Moscow.
Yeah, they're trying to do that just now and lift their team, because the team aren't getting much of the ball at the moment. It's not dangerous possession for the last few moments with Germany, but they're trying to stamp their authority in this game and control the play, and that's exactly what they're beginning to do at the moment. A lot of moment, well, I'll come back to him. It's a tactical thing happening. I'll get back to it.
Khedira plays the ball in, headed away, picked back up by Werner. Clearance then put away over on that far side by Guardado.
You were mentioning there about Müller, you haven't mentioned his name. Really intriguing to see how he's playing. All he's doing is looking for space to run into, and quite a lot of the time Timo Werner, who plays as an outside forward, he will go wide right to the right wing sort of area and drag one of the centre backs with him, and that's when Müller will hammer into that area. Obviously Ozil's in that sort of area as well, playing as a 10, but the intelligence of Müller running into that space when it's created by the striker running off, it seems totally natural. It's one of those things, he's not worked on it, he just finds space, he just naturally runs into it.
That's the voice of Pat Nevin. You're listening to BBC Radio 5 Live. Draxler collects the ball. He's over the halfway line, far side to left. Draxler comes forward. Plattenhardt was trying to keep up with him. Werner again has made the run, tries to cut it back. It was Müller on this occasion who's cut it back, and he'll get a corner kick. Müller, the way he just drifts.
He's just done exactly what I said he was going to do. He's just done it 10 seconds later, and it's coming from that position. And half of the time, we chatted earlier on about, you don't know what position 3 or 4 of these German players are playing. They're so adaptable.
Corner taken short. Müller looking to try and flick it into the path of Ozil. Mexico can't get it away. The shot eventually comes in from Hummels off his left foot on the edge of the area. Ochoa was well positioned with his bushy hair decked out all in bright orange, the goalkeeping outfit for the Mexican, who this is his 4th World Cup, but he's actually only played, well, his first game was actually in 2014, and he was outstanding as he kept Brazil out for a goalless draw. So he plays for Standard Liège in Belgium, bushy-haired goalkeeper, so he's seen plenty of World Cup activity, not only the appearances last time, 4 appearances in Brazil when they made their customary exit at the last 16 stage. Müller, forward. Khedira tries to get it back to Neuer. The challenge comes in, brought away, up towards Vela, turns into the centre circle. He's got pace. He's got a Hernandez ahead of him. He's being urged on. Carlos Vela comes forward. Hummels makes the challenge. The Iranian referee gives a direct free kick. Central area, 2 or 3 yards outside the D. Let's see what Mexico can do with this set piece.
You know what? We know that Vela has got some real talent. We've seen him in fits and starts throughout his career. But he started this absolutely superbly. You're right enough, his pace looks great. He's a creative player. He tries a no-look pass here, trying to get it through to Hernandez. I think it was the wrong pass in the end, because Lozano was out wide there. He eventually gets a free kick in a very, very dangerous area. And already, this is becoming a World Cup of free kicks, isn't it?
It certainly is.
3 goals already. I think, off the top of my head, I can remember 3, all in the same corner.
Miguel Layún has placed the ball down. Hector Herrera is the other player, but it looks like it's Miguel Layún, legs apart, stance not too dissimilar to Cristiano Ronaldo. The Watford supporters, he had a 6-month spell in 2014-15 campaign in the Premier League. Germany have everybody back. It's Layún who strikes it up over the wall and over the bar. No problems for Neuer, 0-0, 5 live.
Yeah, very disappointing actually. When you look at the German wall, it's a massive wall. It's a very, very tall wall there. And they did jump a little bit, so it had to be really special. Bit of pressure on, because lad Neuer's not bad in goals either. But long, long way over the top, didn't trouble Neuer.
Kimmich doesn't keep the ball in play. Pat talking about free kicks. Serbia opened up Group E with a 1-0 victory against Costa Rica. We'll have commentary. The boys from Brazil in action. And our boys are Alistair Bruce Ball and Chris Sutton, who've made their way to Rostov. That's underway at 7 o'clock.
Interesting you talk about Brazil playing there. I'm saying it's a World Cup of free kicks so far, or goal scored from free kicks. Brazil haven't even kicked a ball yet, so it could get better even.
Hummels snuffs out the threat of Carlos Vela. Layún is playing on the right-hand side, and it's Javier Hernandez is through the centre. Lozano's actually drifting towards the left. We haven't really seen too much of Irving Lozano, who plays for PSV. And linked with Manchester City.
Well, just that one we break it right at the start where you get the brilliant tackle by Boateng. Other than that, you're right, he's not kicked the ball, but he showed then he's got plenty of positivity about his game in this left-hand side.
Lozano now is on the ball as he plays it short and in field. Vela back towards Lozano. They've worked it back inside. Shot's going to come in from distance, and it came in from Hector Herrera. And Neuer made the save. Just had to move a little bit away to his right. But I would say this has been a very encouraging 10 minutes for Mexico, 0-0.
I'd go so far as to say it's an absolutely even game. I don't think Germany are trying to keep the possession, slow it down a few times, as I say, put that authority stamper on the game as much as they can. It's not affecting the Mexicans in any way at all. Once they get it, they want to break with pace. And again, as you say, they're playing a 4-2-3-1. The front 4 in particular, they will get up there with lots and lots of pace. Good belief about them as well.
Evening sunshine for those in the far corner of the stadium as the sun has appeared.
Have a laissez-faire attitude with the referee. I'm sure you've noticed that as well. A couple of tackles from the back, particularly from the Mexicans. He's letting it go.
Boateng's forward ball headed out of play on this near side by Jesus Gallardo, the left back, who was tucked in. It'll be a German throw on the right-hand side. 11 minutes played. Kimmich in field. Here is Mesut Ozil of Arsenal, just chips the ball in towards Kimmich. Kimmich brings the ball under control, tries to work it across. Werner was waiting inside the 6-yard area, didn't necessarily have the pace on the ball, and it was dived upon by the goalkeeper at his near post, Guillermo Ochoa.
Fabulous player, Kimmich. Remember the time he was moved into centre-back. He's been moved those positions, centre-midfield a few times as well. He's stuck there at the moment at right-back, but he's not happy with that because he wants to go and play right wing now and again. Absolutely all over the place and comfortable anywhere in the field.
9 assists in qualifying as well for Joshua Kimmich.
Not bad for a full-back, is it?
Certainly not. Saw him score an early goal in the Champions League semi-finalist. Bayern Munich came so close to knocking out Real Madrid in the Bernabeu. Mexico here, 0-0, 12 minutes played, have a throw-in on this near side as they play from right to left as we look. It's going to be Gallardo who's going to take it, looking for a little bit of options. It's Vela who shows himself, loses out to Müller, but Müller's not happy that the decision has gone against him. It'll be a Mexico throw. Carlos Vela, of course, just the 3 Premier League starts during his time at Arsenal. Unfulfilled talent. 72 goals at Real Madrid, now plies his trade for Los Angeles in the MLS. Gallardo, the left back, gets away from one challenge, closed down by Müller. Out of play, it goes for a throw. A little nice bit of keepy-uppy there from Joachim Löw. Gallardo takes the throw, back towards Vela on this left-hand side. Looked like he'd been pulled back there by Kimmich. Holds onto the ball though, Carlos Vela, he's done well. Another little flick forward towards Gallardo. Good football by Mexico, very tight, but they worked it away from this near side, the left. Certainly showing plenty of confidence because there wasn't much room to work within. Salcedo forward. Herrera. Germany there will dig the ball out. Germany having to battle at the moment against Mexico. The Iranian referee gives a free kick against Kroos. Free kick to Mexico, 0-0.
Well, do you know what? Fagani's not given many away here just now. He's letting this game flow incredibly. I quite like him. It's a really old style of refereeing. He's letting the game flow there. And that time, I would say 90% of referees in this competition would have given that free kick the other direction. But he's given it to Mexico because he feels the German threw himself to the ground there and then threw the ball away. He was lucky he didn't get a yellow card there, but he's been very, very strong so far, but also allowing a little bit of leeway. Enjoying it, he's allowing the game to flow.
They've got a high line for this free kick of Germany. They've got that line of white shirts outside the penalty area. At the moment, I would say there are 2 Mexican players just slightly in offside positions for this free kick, which is midway through the Germany half. It's going to be clipped in. We've seen that Ayala had made a run from the back, and it comes. Downward header in the end was from Hector Moreno, the other central defender, and Neuer just had to move away to his right to make the save.
Well, great spot that you've seen it was him. I think you're absolutely spot on there. 2 or 3 players going in for it, but he was bravest. He wanted it most, and you've got to say the best chances so far are falling to the Mexican side. They've got real belief. They're not holding on here. They want to take part in this game, and I think they want to try and catch the Germans cold at the start of this tournament. And well, we all know, we talked about it before the game, the Germans have not had a good run up to this with their draws and their losses in a number of the friendlies they've played. Well, they're beginning to push the game today.
Mexico, Mexico, Mexico is the chant sweeping around the Luzhniki Stadium here on 5 Live. Ozil. Müller, short forward ball, back with the Arsenal player. Kroos, again with Müller, drifts in. As he drifts in, he then creates the space for the run of Kimmich on this near side, the right. And there is Kimmich, right corner of the penalty area, unmarked. Time to swing over the cross, almost an own goal. It actually ran off the legs of Salcedo and behind for a corner kick.
I mean, well done spotting the fact that he'd run off there and made the space for Kimmich. That was absolutely brilliant the way he made the space there. But the quality of that ball there in from the right-hand side, that's as good a cross as you can put in. It's absolutely undefendable. Brilliant, brilliant ball. Unlucky not to score with it.
Corner kick to Germany. Kroos to take it. Swings it in from the left-hand side. Hummels was up. Comes out to Draxler. First-time shot. Ocho, the goalkeeper, just goes a little bit on his toes. It was a comfortable save at around head height. He clears the ball away long. Neuer's had to come out. There's the sweeper keeper to volley the ball away right-footed. They weren't afraid to go long. All of a sudden the game stretched and open. Ozil, left-hand side for the World Cup holders Germany. 0-0, 5 Live. Kroos is going to shoot from distance, takes a deflection, but it comes off a German player, which was Müller, and that will be a goal kick, and it can just settle down, Pat Nevin.
Do you know, quite often in the World Cups you see certain things that change in the game, something that hasn't happened for a while or something new. It's usually a reinvention. Well, there's a little bit of reinvention just happened there. Haven't seen it for quite some time. Mexico left 3 up for a corner. Nobody's doing that these days. Everybody's getting more players back. Some teams are leaving none back. They left 3 up against 3. And then when the goalkeeper, Ochoa, gets the ball, he just lumps it. That's why he lumped it, because he knew that they were 1-on-1 at the back there. Neuer was put under massive pressure because of that. So it's quite an unusual thing to see at a World Cup.
The Mexican supporters dancing in their seats here in the Luzhniki Stadium, 0-0. Ball headed forward by Herrera, cleared away by Germany. Comes off the head of Hector Moreno and goes out of play for a Germany throw on this right-hand side. I notice now that Juan Carlos Osorio, the Mexican coach, has dispensed with his jacket, his suit jacket now. He's just there with his white shirt and his dark trousers and his pumps, watching on from the edge of his technical area. Boateng is in possession for the holders. Kimmich on this near side, the right. Werner's made the run ahead of him. That'll be cut out by Gallardo. And Gallardo holds off Werner and then plays it forward. And here is Lozano. And Lozano's making a diagonal run. He's over the halfway line. Lozano's still going. Slips it inside. Little bit of support. Hector Herrera gets from one challenge. Hector Herrera plays the ball in. Here is Hernandez. Hernandez turns. Has his back to goal. Looks for some support. And in the end is shielded away from goal. Just couldn't seem to get the shot away. Partially cleared. Herrera looks to win it back. It's a real good contest, Pat Nevin.
I'm really enjoying it. I mean, it's brilliant. I'm amazed that he didn't go down there. How many players in international football wouldn't go down there and look for the penalty kick, winning in and goal? And I have to applaud him for not doing so, because he tried to get the shot away. You're right, he couldn't get it completely under control. But Hernandez, I tell you what, he's sharp. He looks absolutely lightning today. Back to his very, very best at the moment.
3 goals in a World Cup in his career. One would equal the Mexican record set by Luis Hernandez. He's also one shy of a half a century of goals, Mexico's record goal scorer. But they've had a couple of promising breaks. Neuer's been forced into a couple of saves as well.
Was that a film throw? I'm trying to see what he did there. The referee's just changed his mind. He's heading it the other way now. It must have been a foul throw. Well done, referee. Spotting everything there.
It's going to be Gallardo who's going to take it. The left back is forward. Gets it to Carlos Vela. Back with Vela. Vela swings over the cross. Headed away by Hummels. Stretched right leg by Draxler. Checked by Salcido. Shot comes in from Salcido, but the referee's already blown his whistle. And that's going to be a free kick to Germany. But there's a good pace about the game as well.
There is a real liveliness. I think the Mexicans believe in their ability to keep up this pace for a long time there. And there's just a little bit unlucky there. I mean, it was Salcedo makes that tackle there. The referee's been letting a lot of those kind of 50-51s go. And had he let that one go, Salcedo had got himself into a pretty good position. But you're right, lively, upbeat, good tempo to it. And certainly the Mexicans are not negative.
Ball played over the top towards Werner. Werner's still there. Werner with a turn and shot low. Ochoa made the save, and Draxler saying, "Why didn't you play me in?"
And you know, it's one of those ones that's hard to tell. 99% of centre forwards going to shoot from there, but it's the wrong ball. He has to peel off at Draxler. Draxler's got his face through goal. He's got no one between him and the goal. Check the goalkeeper. He's got to lay that on to Draxler, who can go and try and find either the near or the far corner. So it does go down as a mistake by Werner, except every centre forward in the world would disagree with me.
Well, certainly the goal striking union, because he is a goal-hungry striker, as his record would show. Not just for Germany, as we mentioned, and how prolific he is, but also for Leipzig. 21 goals in his 45 appearances for Leipzig the season that's just gone. It's 0-0, it's the World Cup, it's 5 Live. And don't forget, when the matches are on BBC TV, as is this one, you can press your red button and listen to the 5 Live commentary. But later on 5 Live, and your good old wireless, later from 7, Brazil against Switzerland, we can look forward to for our third commentary of the day. And then we'll turn our attentions to the final round of the US Open Golf that's live on 5 Live from 9, as a long ball downfield from Moreno. The central defender is gathered in by Manuel Neuer. It's an underarm throw out from Neuer. Here is Boateng. Boateng to Kimmich. He's got time on the ball here. Almost standing still, is eventually closed down by Lozano. Back towards Boateng once again. The pace has dropped now for the Germans in their white shirts and black shorts, playing from left to right. 21 minutes played. Ozil pops up on this right-hand side, 10 yards over the halfway line. Draxler's in a central area. As here is Kimmich. Muller's ahead of him, trying to link up, but Muller's played that ball too far ahead of Kimmich, cleared away by Gallardo, the left back, only as far as Ozil, midway through the Mexican half, closed down by Hernandez. Last touch of the West Ham striker. That'll be a German throw. Mentioned earlier, Pat, that Muller drifts inside to create the space. Draxler's just done the same, cutting in from the left-hand side, and it created a real vacuum for Plattenhardt, the left-back, to go into on that far side if they wanted to switch play.
Yeah, they do it really well on the right, maybe slightly less so on the left-hand side.
Here is Ozil to Draxler, just outside the penalty area. Draxler coming in on his right foot. Kroos takes over, edge of the area. Kroos with a shot. Comfortable save again by Ochoa, just moving down to his left.
Do you know when you look forward to World Cup before it starts, you look forward to games that are going to be open, two sides attacking each other, both sides want to win, and how often that doesn't actually happen in games? Well, it's happening here, and it's going to keep on happening here. You cannot see at any point the Mexicans deciding to be negative either. So we've got a good start to the game and a good first quarter of the game. I suspect it will not stop. This could get better and better.
Well, we looked at our schedule and we saw that the opening game that we did together yesterday was Argentina against Iceland, and that certainly didn't disappoint as Mexico win the ball in the centre circle. Lozano coming forward now. Lozano in towards Hernandez. Hernandez gets the shot away from the edge of the area, left-footed, and it's cleared away by Kimmich, and now Kroos. And they're just a little bit careless.
But they've got it wrong again. He's going through that central midfield area. They've got 2 and 2. There's a pass through there. They keep on looking for Hernandez even when he's the wrong ball. And that's twice now. They've tried to play Hernandez in. It doesn't matter, he's the best striker, he's the top man, he's the main man. If he's not the right ball, do not try and slip him in. And that's twice in a row they've made that mistake.
Well, when we saw the schedule and we had with this double header of games in Moscow before we set off for St. Petersburg, I think I really enjoyed the story yesterday, and obviously it lived up to the expectations. But this, with two sides rich in World Cup pedigree, is also living up to every expectation. 23 minutes in, it's 0-0, but it's a very watchable game as a free kick for Mexico. Midway through the Germany half, the holders, every outfield player is in the Germany half away to our left-hand side as we sit high up here in the media tribune of the Luzhniki Stadium.
By the way, you're very right about that high line. That German line there is a good 6 yards further up the field than you expect.
In it comes now. It's arcing its way in towards the penalty area. There must have been a foul on Hummels because our Iranian referee has given a free kick in favour of Germany. 24 minutes played.
I think Germany have spotted that Moreno's a real danger from free kicks and corners because they're making sure they get close to him. On that occasion, well, he's actually fouled there, but is it Cadera who's got close to him? He's furious with Moreno, furious with the referee, but Moreno is one of those centre-backs. He will come up and he will attack absolutely everything. Actually, back in the studio we get Terry Butcher. Not dissimilar in Big Terry in many ways.
Plays for Real Sociedad. In Spain does Hector Moreno. Left-sided central defender with his partner Hugo Ayala, but doesn't take prisoners, it would seem. Just like the big man back in the studio alongside Mark Chapman. If you've seen Mark Chapman play football, he doesn't take prisoners either. 25 minutes played, 5 live. Kimmich to take the throw on the right-hand side. 0-0. Kimmich waits. Not much movement for him. Eventually he picks out Timo Werner. He's all over him like a rash, is Hector Moreno, and in fact unfairly so. Free kick to Germany, right-hand side, midway through the Mexico half. Yeah,
he's a bit pumped in, isn't he, at the moment, Moreno? I think the fact that he nearly scored that goal, he's been playing fairly well, but he loves a tackle. He loves to get involved with the striker that he's actually playing against, but the referee, after letting it go a little bit earlier on, is beginning to pull up a few more fouls, and the clever German players are actually getting them in dangerous areas now.
It's
and they're 3 up again. This is really unusual what the Mexicans are doing, and extraordinarily brave too.
Free kick, Kroos to take it, right-footed. It's deep towards the far post. Hummels heads it back. Draxler rises, can't get the head away. Brave header away by Gallardo. Potential break. Herrera plays it early. Now they've got the 3 and they've got options as it goes down the middle. Lozano is trying to stay onside. He has stayed onside. Left corner of the penalty area. An exciting break by Mexico. Lozano still going. Edge of the area. Has some support. Layun right-footed over the top.
I love this tactic. I absolutely love this tactic. So few teams do it. It's something that you would have done as a boys' club player or as a school player. You'd lay 3 up against 3, and in the professional game, a lot of the time, it's seen as very, very naive. Well, it doesn't look naive just now because it's working extremely well. Every time the Mexicans get it, the keeper gets it, or any of the centre-backs get it from a free kick or a corner kick that they're defending, they just turn round, lump it long, as you say, 2 and 2, 3 and 3, they get half chances.
Khedira strokes it forward to Ozil. Kimmich high up the pitch, this right-hand side, this near side. He was looking for the run of Müller. Goes out of play off Gallardo and out for a throw that Kimmich wants to take. It's still 0-0. Been playing for 27 minutes on BBC Radio 5 Live. Müller quickly challenged, breaks forward to Ozil. Ozil tries to clip it in field. The green shirts will break up that attack. Wasn't intended for Carlos Vela, but he's got Hernandez streaking through the middle, tries to play a low ball, cut out by Hummels, who recovered well. Vela keeps the ball in play on this near side, the left. Has some support now with Andreas Guardado. Lozano. They are a threat on the counter-attack, Pat Nevin.
They are a phenomenal threat. There is a problem with the final pass. I think they've probably now got into positions on 4 occasions where the final ball should have been delivered to a centre-forward or an attacking player who would have been 1-on-1 with Neuer. And each time of those 4 occasions, they've failed to find that man. When it wasn't a particularly difficult ball, when the top-class players, you get the Neymars, the Messis, whatever, they will make that pass. At the moment, the Mexicans haven't got a player that can make that pass yet.
The two central defenders have split. It then in the end requires Ochoa to play the ball forward to Hector Herrera. He's happy to collect it. He actually turned in the edge of his penalty area. High press came from Germany, but they played it well there. Strong running by Herrera to the edge of the area. Was he fouled? And just talking before about Hector Moreno, as that free kick is taken and tough tackling, when he was actually at PSV, he was the player who went into the challenge against Luke Shaw 3 years ago. As Lozano here is for Mexico, tries to play it in low, Germany will clear, and it was that double leg break of Luke Shaw. Moreno was the player involved there. Here is Leun, low shot, edge of the area, saved by Neuer.
I mean, to be honest, that doesn't shock me now that you've told me that, and reminded me of that, because he is so up for it. He wants to tackle, he wants to get involved. He's a very, very strong player. He's not struck me as a dirty player in this game yet, just incredibly strong, but we'll keep an eye on that and see if he does lose his rag or push it too far over the top. But the game continues, and the more it goes on, the more dangerous Mexico look. I think they've played superbly well in this game. They've got fantastic belief about themselves, but it's just that last little bit of quality with that last pass that's let them down on a few occasions.
Thing is, Germany haven't had that one opportunity yet, have they really, where to see if they are clinical? Maybe the only one was where Werner shot and he could have played in Draxler earlier in the half. We're short of the half hour.
Yeah, it was an earlier one. Werner got kind of inside right position, it dragged it across the post. But as you correctly pointed out, it was far too acute an angle. But that's the 2 occasions they've been in there. Apart from that, you'd say 4 or 5, maybe 6 occasions, the Mexicans have looked much more dangerous.
Draxler on that far side on this pleasant evening here in Moscow. BBC Radio 5 Live. Ozil waits, plays it short to Draxler. The return ball to Ozil, left corner of the penalty area. The left back Plattenhardt is also there. Little turn by Ozil. There was no foul as Mexico looked to clear it up towards Hernandez. And actually the decision has gone against Hernandez as he tried to spin away from Boateng. The Iranian referee has actually given that free kick in favour of Germany just outside the centre circle, and Hernandez has stayed down as well.
I think he's going to make the argument that Hernandez was dragging the defender and pulled him around. I think Hernandez, we can safely... No, he's backed into Boateng. Do you know what? Well done, referee. Nailed it. That is an absolute superb decision, because centre-back's just looking at the ball, he's going to attack it. Hernandez doesn't actually go for the ball, he backs into Boateng in that situation. That is superb referee.
Alireza Faghani, the Iranian referee, getting the praise from Pat Nevin, which after spending a few days with Pat, that doesn't come easy, let me tell you. 0-0. Here is Müller. Müller right hand side. Kimmich, Boateng on the halfway line. I thought working with Mark Chapman was hard, but then I spent time with you, Pat. Here is Kimmich on the right-hand side to Khedira.
You love the abuse.
Here is Khedira waiting. Plattenhardt is just in acres of space. It's almost as if it's lopsided, and the left-back is just waiting for the ball as Muller's cross is a tired one, really, from the right-hand side. Takes a deflection, takes a lot of the pace off the ball, and Ochoa will throw it out for Mexico. We've got 14 minutes to go to the break.
Anyway, you're talking about me giving you abuse. I thought Kelly Case gave you worse than me last night.
Yeah, but she's mostly Scottish, isn't she? All by 11.4%.
Oops.
Kelly will be taking over the baton at half-time. Germany 0, Mexico 0. The pace has dropped off, Pat Nevin.
Yeah, I mean, it had to. I mean, but there's nothing wrong with that. I think the Mexicans, you go and try and play at that pace for 90 minutes, and it is quite sultry out there. It is warm. It will be exhausting for. Although I haven't said it's Mexican players, I mean, they kind of might be quite used to conditions that are quite warm. But you know, give yourself a little bit of rest, a little bit of respite. When you play at that pace on the break and do it all the time, you will run out of legs after a little while. Doing starts and bursts, and that's what they're trying to do now.
Lozano, Hernandez, out towards Leun, far side the right, has some support now with Herrera, plays it back in field. This is Carlos Vela. Vela holds off the challenge of Hummels. He's still got hold of the ball, he's done well under pressure. Support comes from Carlos Salcido, the right back. Work back out towards Gallardo, the left back level of the penalty area. Mexico are threatening. Low cross fired in, just couldn't reach. Hernandez takes a deflection. Kroos doesn't flap inside the penalty area, holds onto the ball, very, very composed defending. Germany's clearance only as far as Hugo Ayala in the centre circle. Mexico keeping the ball well. 12 minutes to go to half-time on BBC Radio 5 Live. And here is Moreno, one of the central defenders. And the Olays are now coming out from the Mexican supporters because Mexico enjoying a lot of the possession. Sustained spell of the ball, Pat Nevin.
Yeah, do you know what? I think you have to call it now. They're the better side, aren't they, at the moment? And for probably a good period of the game now. Do you know that counts for absolutely nothing against Germany? Absolutely nothing, because we know that they're so capable of breaking, getting one chance.
Good footwork from Hector Herrera. Releases Leun, slides it in. Leun just couldn't take it in the straight. He seemed to hesitate as Vela played the ball, diagonal ball through. It was a piercing ball by Vela.
That's the ball that I've been crying out for about the last 15 or 20 minutes. When they threw the ball to the player who makes a late run, they finally played it in. They played it to Leun. It's not Hernandez that's making the best runs, actually. The German centre-backs are spending so much time chasing after Hernandez. They're leaving players like Leun and Lozano to make those runs. On that occasion, he made the run. He was just a yard away. Once again, he should have been 1-1 with the goalkeeper. They're making great opportunities, and here they go again.
Hernandez pops it off. It's then played back towards Hernandez. Hernandez has got Lozano free. Lozano in the penalty area. Lozano still going. Lozano scores. The World Cup holders Germany are behind, and Mexico a devastating break. He was composed. He fired the ball low past Neuer. We're yet to have a European side lose in the 2018 World Cup, but Germany, the holders, are behind. Mexico 1-0.
That is no surprise whatsoever sitting here watching this game. The opportunities, the chances that they've been creating, very, very similar. Now, if you're German, you're going to see that terrible defending. The two centre-backs are miles apart, but the speed and the willingness of the four front players from Mexico has been superb in this game so far. The final ball hasn't been good enough, but just a moment ago, Leun almost got through when they finally played the right ball. This occasion, probably, I would suggest, the sixth time they've had a chance to go 1-1. They got it right and they scored, and boy did they deserve it.
Well, he's been absolutely explosive with PSV Eindhoven this season. 19 goals in his 34 appearances. It was a fine finish, right-footed, beat Neuer inside his near post. But what about the role that Hernandez played in the build-up to that goal, Pat Nevin?
Yes, I mean, the willingness, he doesn't actually always need to get on the ball himself, but when he gets on the ball, he's holding it well, and his willingness to run and drag players away has been magnificent. He's not the tallest, we know he's not the tallest, but it's been almost the perfect example of a striker's play from him today. His running's been great, he's taken 10 or 2 players, he's held up, he's linked up, and he's run long. He's done everything right, and he's done it selflessly. It's been an impeccable display, and yes, the involvement in the goal was deserved as well.
Now this is a test for Germany. They have been out of form. 1 win of 6 friendlies since they qualified. But you have to go back an awful long way since they actually lost their opening game in a World Cup as the cross comes in. And this is Draxler, wouldn't settle for Draxler inside the penalty area. Shot then fired in by Khedira. That was blocked. Oh, that'll be a free kick. That was a tired challenge by Lozano, the goal scorer.
I just wonder if Lozano actually spotted Kimmich's. The angle he was coming behind on the ball, I think he was just trying to smash the ball clear, not really looking, and I think Kimmich comes in from behind him. We've got another little replay here. Nah, I'm not giving you that, mate. You should be a yellow carded for that. He did come in from behind, but he's seen enough of him, and he's probably felt Kimmich on his shoulder there. He's absolutely leathered him. But what it's led to, 25 yards out, once again, another opportunity for a free kick goal. Certainly a short goal. And Mesut Ozil fancies this one, doesn't he?
Certainly does. It's fractionally right of centre. I would imagine, I was so busy just commentating on the goal, but I would imagine that when that goal was fired in for Mexico, there were a few sombreros that were tossed up in the air inside the Luzhniki, because still those in green are dancing and jumping up and down. Although there might be the odd worried face among the Mexican support, because this is a free kick. Draxler, Ozil and Kroos are the three white-shirted Germans who are standing over the ball. Draxler's now moved away. Kroos with his right foot, Ozil with his left. Kroos to take it. Oh, he's in the crossbar! Germany just threw the crossbar through. Kroos with a free kick. Mexico still lead by a goal to nil. Ochoa, did he get anything on it?
I thought he did actually, but we'll see that in a moment.
Muller with a cross from the right-hand side. Germany responding well. Khedira. Werner inside the penalty area. Werner chips it across. Muller waits. Muller fires it low. And it will be just laid away by...
Boateng's just...
Guardado.
Yeah, Boateng's actually just taken on completely out of the play there. I mean, he has a monster of a man, Boateng there. But he needs to do that now, because I don't think he's got the pace to stay with a good number of these Mexican forwards when they break away. And they were just about to break away again there. Kroos can't believe it there. He's taken it over the wall. Same corner where all they've been going in. And yes, the keeper does save it. I thought he had. And you're right, you guessed it as well. He's tipped it onto the crossbar there. It was a great free kick, but it was an even better save.
Guillermo Ochoa, outstanding against Brazil 4 years ago in a goalless draw. Certainly proving his worth.
Moreno's going to get a yellow card here for time wasting. That's a real disappointment there. Considering the type of player he is, we've been talking about what he's like. He's a wholehearted player, and to get a silly yellow card there for absolutely nothing. They don't look like they're a team that wants to waste time just now.
5 minutes to go to the break on BBC Radio 5 Live. Oh, that was not the best of clearances from Neuer. It went straight to Khedira. Fortunate for him that he had no elevation whatsoever. Mexico lead 1-0.
It's good reaction though, isn't it, from the Germans? Immediately lost the goal, they've got on the front foot, they created a few chances there up front, but it's whether the Germans can stay at that pace from here on in, because they might have to.
Here is Boateng at the heart of the German defence inside in the penalty area. They were hoping to set a new national record of 6 consecutive World Cup wins with a victory here today, but it's not going their way. They are behind as Khedira over the halfway line. Of course, in Brazil 4 years ago, the defending champions opened up with a defeat, Spain losing to the Dutch. And Germany here, the defending champions, trailing by a goal to nil. They switch play out towards the left. They've hardly attacked down that left-hand side with Plattenhardt, but he now plays it forward towards Draxler. A lot of the attacks have featured down the right, as Pat Nevin had mentioned earlier. Kroos, Boateng joins the attack midway through the Mexico half, chips it in towards the penalty area. He's looking for the run of Muller. It'll be a goal kick though, Pat Nevin.
Yeah, you're talking about that left-hand side there with Draxler. We've watched him coming through over the years, and he is a lovely player to watch. I mean, he just cruises around there, but he's not a left winger. I mean, he's an old-style left winger. So he's stuck out in that area, in a position and he's had to play it for PSG on quite a number of occasions as well, but it's not a natural position. He wants to be a 10, like so many other players just now, in the central areas. And he's out there, and he's absolutely dependent on getting some of the ball, and getting to good positions, and getting it early. It just ain't happening for him so far. And the one chance he was completely free, and you've mentioned it a couple of times, the ball wasn't played for him.
Germany, who've won each of their opening games at the last 7 World Cups. The last time they didn't was actually in Mexico '86 when they were held by Uruguay. You have to go back to the '82 World Cup, the last time they lost their opener against Algeria. Here is Ozil. They trail by a goal to 0. Ozil to Draxler. Draxler finds Werner, chips the ball into the penalty area. Tucked in was the right back. Salcedo to clear. Break on. Vela leads the charge. He's got Layun away to his right. He's got Hernandez to his left. He now plays the ball out towards Layun. Layun inside the penalty area, looking for some support. Comes now. Played out by the left-hand side towards Lozano. Just couldn't quite take it in his stride as he's forced down towards the corner flag. Behind him is Guardado, and he'll charge down the cross. And in fact, it doesn't go out off a German player, Kimmich. It'll go off the last touch from him, from Andreas Guardado, and it will be a goal kick to Germany.
I am stunned, Ian. I am utterly stunned at how slow that German midfield is. Now, we know Mesut Ozil isn't a quick player, but you look at Kadira and Kroos at the moment, they're towing caravans here, trying to get back even close to the Mexican players in the midfield. They're breaking away from them time and time and time again.
Mexico, the more accomplished side, deservedly leading by a goal to 0. BBC Radio 5 Live, 2.5 minutes to go to half-time. We've still got Brazil against Switzerland, and who, of course, can forget tomorrow, England's opening game. You'll get all the build-up. We'll get a flavour of the England camp between 6 and 7 tonight on 5 Live as Ozil to Kadira. Müller in a central area, let it run. There was no one behind him. Salcedo will play it forward towards Hernandez. Has Hummels trying to challenge him from behind. Now this is the 16. Hector Herrera waits and holds on to the ball just over the halfway line. Has some support with Guardado in the centre circle. Now it's with Gallardo. Forward, Carlos Vela. They have been very good on the ball, have Mexico. And again the olays from the Mexican supporters, because this has been a very difficult first half for the World Cup holders, Germany. Keeping the ball going back. Every time the green shirt has it, you'll hear the olays. And now it stops because a long, hopeful ball downfield is chested forward by Neuer, the goalkeeper, to Boateng.
If you had to make a guess at how many times the Mexicans have broken from that midfield area and left the entire German midfield behind, you've got to say it's come towards about 10 times now. In one half of football. It's stunning to see it. You wouldn't believe it would happen to a team that Joachim Löw has actually sent out there.
Here is Kroos. Finds Ozil. Left corner of the penalty area. Plattenhardt went on the overlap. Wasn't required. Infield to Draxler. Draxler now uses the ball out towards the left back. Plattenhardt with the cross. After a first touch, it's arcing its way from goal over the head of both Müller and Kimmich. No foul. Potential break now.
Here they go again.
Carried forward by Carlos Vela. They've got two over on the far side, trying to exploit the space left by the left back. Vela couldn't find him. He held on to the ball. Lays it back now. Guardado joins the attack. Looking up, plays it back inside to Vela. Edge of the area. Vela shoots just wide. Another good attack by Mexico, who lead by a goal to 0. Goal kick, 5 Live, 1-0.
That is absolutely stunning. And I'm watching you, myself, and John Southall all pointing to the right wing. Well, there's two players utterly and completely free that if he managed to play, I have to admit, it's a 40 or 50 yard ball, they're through in goal as well. I cannot believe I'm watching a Germany side that have been so stripped, absolutely naked, totally and utterly torn to shreds.
Here is Werner. They just look so ordinary at the back pack.
And the midfield, I have to say, and the midfield. It's all very well at the back, but you need a little bit of protection in front of you. They are getting none whatsoever. Players are running straight off Kroos, straight off Kadira, and if you're a defender, you've got your forward to mark, but you've also got a guy running with the ball. You're caught between a rock and a hard place. Something's got to be done by Germany at half-time. He must make either tactical or personnel changes.
Being exposed time and time again by this Mexico side on the break, who lead by a goal to 0. That's cut out by Layun. He can play as a fullback, either right or left. He can also play up front, but he's in that attacking role on the right-hand side. He's now with Sevilla, is Miguel Layun, but he's had an excellent half, as have Mexico, full stop. And no wonder those who are in green are cheering their heroes off the pitch, because that has been an excellent half of football from Mexico. They have been the better side. They deservedly lead by a goal to nil. Lozano, 10 minutes before the break. 3 minutes later, though, Kroos was very close. Ochoa making the save, tipping his free kick onto the crossbar. But Germany 0, Mexico 1, and there are certainly plenty of questions for Joachim Löw, for the defending champions, Kelly Cates, here at the break. Thank you, Kelly. The Germans haven't made a change. So for the time being, Joachim Löw is keeping faith with the side that has been exposed time and time again in the first half, where they trail by a goal to nil, as the second half restarts here on 5 Live. And don't forget, if you are on your way home, you've been listening on the radio, this game is on BBC television, but if you press your red button, you can listen to the commentary, as you can with every 5 Live commentary when it's on BBC TV, through the red button option. But in this second half, as we sit here in this media tribune, Germany playing from right to left as we look, in their white shirts and black shorts, and the ball goes long up towards Hernandez, and Hummels has got to come across to deal with Hernandez, who just waits, plays it behind him to Herrera, and there is options here now for Mexico in their green shirts and white shorts as they play from left to right. So neither side has made a change. So Germany have Neuer in goal, Kimmich, Boateng, Hummels and Plattenhardt is the back four, Khedira and Kroos the two holding midfielders, Müller, Özil and Draxler behind Timo Werner. For Mexico, Ochoa is in goal, a back four of Salcido, Ayala, Moreno and Gallardo, Guardado and Hector Herrera the two central midfielders, Layun on the right, Lozano the goal scorer on the left, Carlos Vela central behind Javier Hernandez. The last time that Germany conceded first in a World Cup match and they came back to win was against Mexico in the World Cup in France 1998 by 2 goals to 1. Mexico have only had one victory in 11 meetings with either West or the unified Germany. That was a friendly back in 1985. But this would create a stir. It would offer real optimism for Mexico as well, who have a proud record of going through, but a real jolt to the system for the defending champions, who have topped every World Cup group since 1990. Pat Nevin.
Do you know, it's happening again. It is already happening again. There are massive gaps for the players to run into. Just a moment ago there, Layun was in a great position. If the ball had been played, he was going to be through. I mean, it was a sparkling kind of dual performance they had at the start. And Hernandez, well, he's a beautiful ruby up front, isn't he? He's absolutely fantastic at the moment.
Draxler to Khedira, Khedira out wide, Kimmich level the penalty area with a cross right-footed. That's headed away by Moreno. The referee actually ducks underneath the ball, as in the end it's Plattenhardt who gets the shot away, the left back, but it was a tame effort really off his left foot and straight at the Mexican goalkeeper. Ochoa decked out all in orange away to our left hand side.
They look really confident at the start of the second half. Obviously Germany have come out once again, not dissimilar to the start of the first half. They've tried to control the game a little bit, hold the ball, get their passing, make sure that they make the Mexicans run about a bit. But they've not really endangered them behind often enough, which is a complete opposite of what's happening to them the other side.
Closest Germany have come to a goal was just moments after they'd gone behind. A free kick tipped onto the crossbar as the cross comes over from the right-hand side, and it drifts out of play for a goal kick. And in the first half, I mentioned that the last time they lost an opening game to a World Cup was 1982, 2-1 against Algeria. The last time they actually failed to score in an opening World Cup match was Poland, a goalless draw back in 1978. So this is a German side who has it all to do in this second half as they trail 1-0 on 5 Live. And then we've got Brazil against Switzerland. Brazil, of course, who were humbled in Belo Horizonte on a really, really bad, embarrassing capitulation when they were beaten in the semi-final as the host nation 7-1 in the semi-final last time. Well, Pat Nevin called it in the first half. He said Germany have been embarrassed by Mexico as they trail by a goal to 0. Embarrassed and exposed.
Well, I'm delighted it's not sounding like hyperbole, because Rafa Honigstein agreed.
4 minutes into the second half, Mexico with Leung to take a throw. He'll just throw it behind him. Salcido, the right back, will come forward. The Iranian referee says don't go too far forward.
You know, for all we say it just now, Mexico need another goal, don't they? At some point, yes. Germany are going to do something. Yes. They're going to create something. One of the top players is going to get free, and that if they get one chance to make any of the final passes that Mexico didn't make in the first half, they'll make that pass.
Well, I mentioned in the first half about Spain starting their defence with defeat last time out against the Dutch. Only one of the last 4 World Cup holders have actually started with a victory. That was Brazil against Croatia in 2006, but Mexico working the ball out despite the high press from Germany. Foul went from Boateng on Hernandez just over the halfway line. That'll be a free kick to Mexico. 1-0 up they lead.
Just a moment ago, Mexico played it out from the back there, and the monumental chances they are taking at the back, but they've got such amazing belief in their ability, even the defenders.
Lozano brings the ball under control, has some support as it's stroked back by Vela. Back out to the former Arsenal player on that left-hand side. In field, then it's just laid off by Hector Herrera. Played down the line by Gallardo, the left-back. And Lozano, in the end, tries to get round the back and overruns it. Now the player goes for a goal kick to Germany.
A slight weakness, Lozano. I mean, he's been impressive, hasn't he? But he does tend to cut inside a lot of the time. He ran the ball out there trying to go wide. I actually applaud him for that, even though he ran the ball out. Because now and again, even if you're not great in your left foot, you need to give the defender something to think about and make sure he doesn't think you're going to go the same way every time. Really clever play, even though it looked as if he made a terrible mistake.
22 years of age. Before his move to PSV Eindhoven, he was linked with Manchester City, but at such a tender age, I'm sure he'll be linked with English clubs as well if he continues to impress in this World Cup tournament here in Russia. As you listen to BBC Radio 5 Live, Boateng chips the ball through the centre. Salcido's covering, running back towards his own penalty area. Boateng then stops the run of Lozano. The ball breaks out towards Khedira. Khedira forward. Right hand side is Kimmich, level of the penalty area, looks up, sends over the cross, blocked by Gallardo's body, out it rebounds for a throw. Kimmich wants to take it quickly, finds Khedira, challenged, out of play it goes. Mexico continue to work hard.
They absolutely do, but if you look at the way the line-out is just now, there's 3 midfielders against 3 of Germans and 1 at the top. They're going again, they're waiting for the break again, the Mexicans. This is such brave play, incredible.
Draxler, 30 yards out from goal, plays it in. Here is Müller, able to turn, edge of the area, comes to Kimmich, the right back in the central area, shoots, always rising off his left foot, over the target, and it's gone for a goal kick. Germany 0, Mexico 1, still can't find their range.
No, they can't find their rhythm either. We talked a lot about the Mexican coach at the start, didn't we? Osorio, and the fact that, you know, he'd spent time in Liverpool and he'd come through as a fitness coach. Do you know what? His tactics have been absolutely brilliant today. They've been genius today. And it's one of those ones where it's almost the emperor's new clothes. He's just looked at Germany and said, right, they're not all that, they're lacking in pace. How do you beat pace? Okay, you actually step onto them and take chances and believe in yourself. I love the fact that he's been brave enough to do this. It's fantastic.
53 minutes played. Mexico have a slender advantage. Boateng will carry the ball short of the halfway line. Now comes into Mexican territory. Plays it forward. Khedira wasn't able to get there. Mexico break it up. Herrera's able to turn. He's got Lozano making the run ahead of him. The goal scorer left-hand side. Level the penalty area. Boateng goes across. Now helped out over on that far side by Müller. As Mexico back, the Mexican supporters in fine voice here in the Luzhniki Stadium on BBC Radio 5 Live as the holders look for an equaliser. Leung on the stretch. Plattenhardt will now come forward. Ozil on the halfway line. Ozil waits. Draxler makes the run ahead of him. Finds the feet of Draxler, trying to get away from Salcido. Here is Werner. And there was no real challenge from Hugo Ayala. And Ochoa has the ball at his feet. And the Iranian referee says no foul. Play on.
It's been quite incredible that Timo Werner, we know that he's quick, we know that he's well capable. But the biggest effect that he's had in the game so far is trying to throw himself to the ground when he wasn't actually tackled, looking for a penalty kick there, and it was never on. So, you know, it's really, really odd to watch a player who's got that capabilities, but no one has actually played the ball into him yet. Here he's got a chance.
Here is Werner. Finds Ozil just outside the D. Draxler's over. Draxler's first time shot actually strikes the legs of Salcido as he tries to come across and cover and diverts the ball behind for a corner kick. Germany still trail.
See, that's the difference. So when the little bits of space open up, the Germans will play the right pass. When going forward, they have the capabilities to do that, and they will get spaces. There will be more space in the second half for them.
Corner taken short. Kroos to Ozil. Back to Draxler. Draxler strokes it in field. Kroos able to turn. Can he create the opening? Kroos, right-footed shot. Blocked. Comes back towards Kroos. Khedira is able to turn. Kroos now takes it over. Midway through the Mexican half. Chips the ball in towards Müller. And in the end, it was Guardado who coming back to help out. Didn't go out of play. Ochoa, the goalkeeper, kept it in as a little flick of his left hand. And they're loving everything at the minute, the Mexican supporters.
Goalkeeper's unusual, isn't he? I mean, he almost doesn't look like a goalkeeper the way he moves. Oddly enough, that was a basketball move there. He managed to keep the ball in with a basketball move. They're such a lively team. They're enjoyable to watch all the time. And at the moment, if they can just keep this up, you just don't know how much energy they've got. Can they keep this level up for the entirety of the game? You'd be surprised if they could.
That was a sloppy ball. Draxler maybe to take advantage. Ozil couldn't work it into the path of Werner. Lozano, no, is adjudged to have made the foul on that far side against Kimmich. And that'll be a free kick to Germany midway through the Mexican half. We talk about Germany having a proud record on World Cup openers. Mexico do. They're unbeaten in their last 5. Since they were beaten by Norway back in 1994. They lead by 1-0. This is 5 Live. 10 minutes into the second half. Barrichello. Switching play. Plattenhardt, the left back. Brings it down off the chest a couple of times. Behind him. Finds Draxler. Draxler's ball into the penalty area. Khedira on the half turn. Can't work it across. Volleyed away by Layun inside his own penalty area. Hummels will get there in front of Hernandez. That was a tussle between the two. Salcido's header. Now clipped long. They've got 2 over. They've got round the back of Plattenhardt. There's a break for Mexico. It's Hernandez. He's got Vela in support. He just couldn't find Vela. Vela though will still get there ahead of Kimmich. Ball played back inside. And it's over the top from Guardado. And another chance. Another break goes missing for Mexico.
It's amateurish, that defending, isn't it? Unbelievable. How many times are they going to have a man over and the German defence are chasing shadows there? Once again, it's 2 against 1. That just doesn't happen in international football, and it certainly doesn't happen to the Germans. It's incredible to watch.
They're just not... Normally the Germans are so good at game management, they're not seeing it. Ozil. Shot comes in from Müller. Terrific save, flags up. Would not count. Ochoa wasn't to know that though. That was a very good save away towards his left-hand side, and Mexico are going to make a change.
And to be fair, he's not had actually many saves to make. They've defended quite well in front of him. And it's a big call to make any sort of changes just now when your team's playing this well and you're breaking at such pace. And Vela, has to be said, he's played really, really well there. He's so unlucky. He almost scored a goal. I'm slightly disappointed he's coming off, but in the fact that each player who's played for them has done very, very well. We shall see what his replacement does.
Well, he is a defender. He can play in the centre of defence. He can also play in the defensive midfield holding role as well. So we'll see where Edson Alvarez will go on as he comes on for his 14th appearance to replace Carlos Vela, who's certainly had a fine game as Mexico lead by 1-0. 5 Live, just short of the hour mark. And to see what that tactical change is. We said he was a tinker. We said he was a thinker. Juan Carlos Osorio. And he's made his first change with his side leading by 1-0. Khedira over the halfway line. White shirts, black shorts. Germany play from right to left. Draxler's diagonal ball out towards Kimmich. Quickly closed down. Still works over the cross. Clearance then by Moreno. Sliding into the ball, Guardado on the edge of the area. Werner tries to help win it back and succeeds. Kimmich helps him out too. Kroos plays it forward. Werner, is he going to go on the overlap? Khedira might not need him. Right corner of the penalty area. Tries to dink the ball in. That was blocked by Alvarez, who now goes across towards that far side. Can Kimmich deliver the ball? He's forced to retreat. Germany still looking for an equaliser as we approach the hour mark. They work it back towards Kimmich. Bit of space. Quickly closed down by Alvarez once again. Sliding into the challenge. Last touch came off Kimmich. Goal kick, Pat Nevin.
Yeah, I'm a wee bit disappointed with that substitution, I have to say. They were breaking brilliantly. Yes, Germany had more of the possession there, the little bits of creaks and a little bit of cracks are appearing in that defence there. But the breaks were still on, the opportunities were still on. So it's kind of blinked. I think Osorio's blinked first there. He's got a little bit more defensive now, Son, and Alvarez. He's sitting in a deep line midfield position, and we shall see if there is enough breaking pace. We know that Lozano can break. Layun's still there breaking, and Hernandez is up front anyway, so there's enough speed to break into that sort of area, but I think the creativity of Vela may well be missed.
Well, the change has now been made by Germany, their first change, and it's an attacking change. So Mexico do go defensive with their first substitution. It's an offensive change made by Joachim Löw, because Marco Reus, there was plenty of speculation, would he start instead of Draxler or indeed an Ozil, as the ball is flicked on towards Hernandez, tidied up by Boateng towards Neuer. But Marco Reus has come on to replace Sami Khedira. So they've now just got the one in the centre of midfield in Toni Kroos. Marco Reus will go into a more advanced position for the white shirts of Germany, with 30 minutes to try and salvage something from this opening game as they trail by a goal to nil. Plattenhardt, the left back towards
That's really
Neuer.
intriguing, Ian, you're right. It's very, very intriguing to make that call. And give him his due, Joachim Löw, he knows his game, he knows the game inside out, and he's watched his opposition manager blink first, and when he's blinked, he's changed it immediately again and thought to himself, no, I can get an extra attacking man on here and get an extra little bit of pace going forward, and you wouldn't be surprised now if Germany start taking over.
Draxler, edge of the area. Draxler tries to create the opening, has his right-footed shot blocked. Kroos has won it back here. Kroos still going all the way, and then there just seems to be a breakdown in communication between him and Reus in the right side of the penalty area, and it rolls out for a goal kick.
Yeah, and you think it's going to be a long time. Again, it's not dissimilar to what we sat through and enjoyed last night with Iceland against Argentina. Half an hour to go, you thought it's going to be hard for them to last, the Icelandic team. And you're beginning to feel a little bit like that with the Mexicans as well. The difference is the Mexicans have got massive pace to play on the break, and you get the feeling they will get one or two more chances between now and the end of the game.
62 minutes on the clock. Germany coming forward. Werner. Reus tries to make a run behind him. Held up though by Alvarez. Layun sweeps it high downfield. Hummels will head it away for Germany. Edge of the centre circle. Ozil tries to hold off the challenge of Herrera. Takes the quick free kick. Plattenhardt forward to Draxler. Plattenhardt makes a run on the inside. The left back. Here is Ozil. Ozil clips it across towards Kimmich, high up the pitch, right-hand side, back towards Ozil. Ozil's now operating in a deeper position since Reus has come on. Ozil then plays it forward. That was cut out, though, on that far side by Gallardo, the left-back. Germany, though, have it again with Ozil. Ozil now starting to pull some strings for Germany. Müller bundled off the ball was Reus. No free kick, says the Iranian referee. And Gallardo, the left-back, will have time to clear on that far side. He just comes on the inside of Müller. Oh, they love that, the Mexicans. Still leading by a goal to nil. And out towards Layun on this near side, the right. Hernandez is ahead of him. They have lost the option, though, of runners since Vela left the field to be replaced by Alvarez, Pat.
Yeah, it's very noticeable there, wasn't it? They just got the ball on the right-hand side there. They're running towards the German defence, and every time up until now they've kept going, they've gone forward, they've looked for the forward pass, and on this occasion they didn't do so. Having said that, as you can probably hear from the Mexicans, they're playing beautifully.
Herrera almost picked out Lozano with a ball from just outside the centre circle of his own half as Lozano was coming in off the left touchline. It was a diagonal ball that was too close to Neuer.
Yeah, they're so dangerous still, and yet they've taken that attacking player Vela off, and you know he can play the killer ball. But you've still got those two white players who are lightning quick.
Germany in possession. Draxler. Layun has had to come back because he had to keep a watchful eye on Plattenhardt, because the left back, he's quite forward on this near side, the left, as Germany play from right to left. If you're listening to your 5 Live commentary on your red button, he might be out of picture, but Layun at the moment, he's almost operating as a right back because of the presence of Plattenhardt. Germany are committing men forward. Boateng joins the attack. Boateng, edge of the area, plays it into the box. The acrobatic finish from Kimmich, the right back in a centre forwards area. And it was not a bad effort onto the roof of the net as Ochoa dived away towards his left-hand side, over the top. Mexico still lead 1-0.
That's twice he's got himself into the box, once in the first half and once in the second half. And he looks very, very dangerous. And he's not just, a creator of goals from that right-back position. He gets into those areas and he's well capable of scoring as well. And of course, we all know the problem with a full-back turning up there. He's not got a marker. It's the last person he expected to turn up there.
Still only 23 years of age. The only German to play in all 10 of their qualifiers, and they were the only European nation to win all 10 of their qualifiers. They've floundered since, and the holders are floundering here against Mexico as they trail by a goal to nil. 65 minutes on the clock, but Germany coming forward. Werner. Royce is making the run in field as Werner carries the ball to the left corner of the penalty area. And going back with him was Salcido. And the goal kick has been awarded to Mexico.
Yeah, they're very confident they got the decision right there. Salcido's been great, hasn't he, in this game? He's full-back, he's quietly done his job. He's got forward 2 or 3 times as well, but he's kept that entire left-hand side of the German attack really pretty quiet for most of the game.
Well, they'll know all about him, Pat, because he plays for Eintracht Frankfurt, and in fact he won the German Cup against Bayern Munich, did the right-back, whose nickname is El Titan. Now here comes Raúl Jiménez, who's joined Wolves on a season-long loan from Benfica for the season ahead, and Lozano is the player to make way for him. And Lozano, the goal scorer, getting a terrific ovation from the Mexicans inside this stadium. So Jiménez comes on and goes out towards that left-hand side.
Again, we'll see what he does. And is he going to play in a similar position? He's a bigger, stronger player than the one who's replaced there, but it's all about pace. They want to have pace up front that they can cause the Germans problems.
Not exactly prolific during his time with Benfica. Only played 7 minutes in Brazil. That was actually against the host nation, so he's got a little bit of a longer run out this time here for the World Cup in 2018. Being brought to you by BBC Radio 5 Live as we approach the midway point of the second half, and the holders still looking for a way back into the game as they trail. They are on the attack now, and coming forward with Royce, out towards Müller. Müller right-hand side, first-time cross, flying header, not cut out, falls to Draxler. Draxler goes for the curling effort, takes a deflection over the top. Corner kick for Germany.
Slightly worrying times for any of our Mexican listeners out there. Germany are beginning to play like Germany now. Remember how they used to play, controlling the game, doing the right thing at the right time, passing well.
Corner taken short, played in, and it drops towards Werner on the half volley. 6 yards out, right-footed, always on the rise, over the top. He knows it was an opportunity.
Everything's changed since the substitutions began. Absolutely everything's changed. And as I say, I was very disappointed to see Vela going off and then taking Lozano off. It still looked as if he had plenty of legs left in him. But the coach knows his players, he knows their capabilities. He understands that, if they keep the men on any longer, they might just blow a gasket, as it were, get injured. But really, for someone on the outside, it's quite saddening to see both of those players being taken off at exactly the point they were. It seemed a bit early.
Ochoa under pressure concedes the corner kick, but Pat called it at the time, and you can't help but feel that they've handed initiative to Germany with that defensive substitution. Germany has since made an attacking change, and the momentum is with Germany at the moment, with 22 minutes remaining. Germany 0, Mexico 1. Corner kick to Germany. Ochoa, the goalkeeper, having to concede that corner kick. So, far side the right, out-swinging header, over the head, corner, over the head of Hummels, cleared away. Played back towards Draxler. Draxler dances his way in towards the penalty area, fires it in low, strikes Salcido. Cleared then by Gallardo. Boateng will see it back. If he could have just picked out Hernandez, Pat.
He was only in about 60 yards of space on his own with no marker on him. Quite incredible. So they have been quite clever about it. They're not leaving 3 up for a corner anymore. Nothing like that at all. But they're leaving it 1-1. And one of the midfielders is ready to break on it too. So there's a good bit of intelligence about what they're doing just now. They're being slightly more defensive, but still trying to play in the break as much as they can.
The question is, can Mexico hold out? Jiménez up towards Hernandez. Hernandez does well. Lays it out towards Layún. Layún over the halfway line. He's got Hernandez streaking through the middle. He finds Hernandez in the penalty area. Goes down under the challenge. The referee's assistant has raised his flag on this near side. We will see if VAR will be checked.
I think it'll be a handball.
It's gone against Mexico.
Yeah, I think it's a handball. He's gone down there. He's made a brilliant run there. He's flown forward. Question of whether it was offside. I don't think he wasn't offside for where we're seeing it. Don't think the referee's given it for that. I think he's given it for the handball by Hernandez when he's actually on the ground at that point in time. Hernandez has gone down. I wouldn't call that a dive. I would call that you've just run out of legs completely and exhausted. Closer, wasn't it?
It was close. No need for VAR on this occasion. Plenty of players in this humid evening in Moscow taking on liquid refreshment during that break. Mexico still lead by a goal to nil. Just over 20 minutes remaining. But Germany having a lot more possession and causing problems now. Cross fired in from the right-hand side by Royce. Excellent clearance under pressure from Salcido as Draxler was making the sliding run in towards that area of the field. Clearance only comes, and it's back with Royce once again. Kimmich thinks about the run from right back on the overlap. They go back, they work it. Ozil now out towards Kimmich, right-hand side. They're queuing up in the middle. In comes the cross, headed away by Ayala. Germany are knocking on the door. Here is Kroos. Out towards Ozil. Ozil waits. They're going to have to work every bit of cover, every blade of grass, Mexico at the moment, because Germany are camped inside the Mexican half. Ball played forward, fired across. Effort. Whistles over from Royce. The angle was tight. Hit it right-footed, screwed it over the top. Goal kick, 1-0 Mexico.
You should not be having a shot from there. Got into a great position. Mexico are really stretched now. You look in the middle of the park there, brilliant position taken up by Timo Werner. Try and find him. He's on the penalty spot. He's on his own. No one's near him. He's got a tap in. Instead, he tries to smash the ball from the most acute angles. They go in once in every 50 times you shoot them. Poor decision. Unusual for us.
They've scored 20 goals in their last 4 World Cup openers. They put 8 past Saudi Arabia in 2002. They put 4 past Australia and Portugal in their last 2 World Cups. At the moment, though, the Germans are drawing a blank. And look who Mexico are going to be turning to here. They're going to be turning to Rafael Marquez, a 39-year-old who retired from Atlas, his club, back in April. It is his 5th World Cup. And a little bit of history here, because he's going to become only the 3rd player to play at 5 World Cups. He's made 16 appearances. He has a wealth of experience. He'll join his fellow countrymen, Antonio Carvajal and Lothar Matthäus. And for those of you who are thinking Gianluigi Buffon is also in that small group, well, he attended 5 in squads, but he only played in 4. So here comes Rafael Marquez, just to sit and try and see them through. His nickname was El Kaiser. Well,
how fitting.
How fitting indeed, because he's going to have an instrumental role to play now. He's been a talisman over the years for Mexico. So it's a bit of World Cup history here for Rafael Marquez. And the player who's coming off is Andrés Guardado, the 31-year-old. His 4th World Cup, so he's had plenty of experience, but Marquez will just sit and to try and see them through and guide Mexico to what would be 3 valuable points as he takes over the captain's armband.
Well, if you didn't think it was going to be a war of attrition beforehand, well, it is going to be now. If you've got Alvarez who's defensively minded, and you've now added Marquez to that as well, and we've already got 4 other defenders on the park, they're going to try and put a wall up there and make sure that the Germans can't get through. This is going to be an intriguing last 20 or so minutes.
His announcement cheered to the rafters inside the Luzhniki. Gives a lift to the Mexican supporters. Will it give a lift to the Mexican players? 16 more minutes required. Germany are going to come knocking. Remember, 1978, the last time that they failed to score in a World Cup opener. Germany trailed by a goal to nil. Plattenhardt, the left back, only playing because Hector is ill. Kroos into the midfield to Ozil. Heavy touch, unable to take advantage, Mexico. Boateng out to Kimmich, right hand side, early ball. Muller Now towards Draxler, back to goal inside the penalty area. Out towards Boateng, chips it forward. Royce was there, they're appealing for handball. Referee doesn't want anything to do with it. They're going to take the early clearance through Ochoa, trying to get Jimenez away on that left-hand side. But Germany were alert to the danger. Both Hummels and Kimmich were back. 1-0 Mexico. Pat Nevin.
Well, at least they tried to play a little bit on the break, and they've gone that far left-hand side and trying to get a little bit of pace into the game. Jimenez isn't slow, actually, so they tried to play it to him there, but he couldn't get the ball to him. But there's no way they're going to get any breaking from the midfield from the likes of the players that they brought on, such as Alvarez and Marquez. So again, one less player left to break. But even so, you just look at the Germans, they still could be caught out. But it's much more likely that Germany are going to score now. They'll get so much of the ball, and so much of the game has been played in the last third.
Plattenhardt near side the left, playing from right to left as we look to Draxler. Behind him is Kroos, midway through the Mexico half. Finds Ozil forward of the centre circle. Midway through the Mexico half, forward ball back towards Kroos. They're looking to close down the options. Vasquez closes down Kroos, out towards Kimmich, right-hand side, level the penalty area. Kroos wants it, first time shot! Ochoa, full-length dive by the Mexican keeper. It was off target, it was curling, and it goes behind off the advertising hoardings and out for a goal kick as Mexico's slender lead is still intact with under 15 minutes remaining.
Yeah, good technique to keep the ball down there. I think Ochoa had that one covered. It was great pace, it was going towards the corner there, but Ochoa actually had his arm beyond the far post as the ball went past, so he had that one covered. He's been superb today. He's not done a thing wrong, and even his play with the ball at his feet has been superb so far as well, and that's just the goalkeeper, Ochoa.
Kroos, diagonal ball, Muller lays it back towards Kroos, then gets it from Royce, edging their way towards the Mexico penalty area. Kimmich right hand side, just in from the touchline. Germany dominating with possession. Here is Ozil, joining the attack is Hummels, just to the left of him. Pass towards the central defender, looks up, time on the ball, goes square, Kroos. They're being patient. Here is Draxler. Draxler quickly closed down. It spins up in the air and it loops over the crossbar behind for a corner kick.
That is a brilliant touch by Draxler. You know, I mentioned to you earlier, he's not a left winger. You give him the ball in the centre of the park and he's absolutely brilliant.
Corner taken short, right-hand side. Royce slips it in. Here is Muller, takes a deflection. They're just throwing themselves in front of everything on that occasion. It was Hector Herrera. Again, the corner is taken short. They know that Mexico on the ropes here to Germany, but here is the break on and the interception from Marquez, and it's Leun who's coming forward. Leun with a shot on the run over the top of the crossbar. Still they have that threat in the counter-attack.
It is fabulous to watch, absolutely brilliant. The Germans are playing as if there's a minute to go. They're playing at that pace and that, intensity, so they're trying to create chances at every second moment. So well done, the Germans playing exactly that way. But the way the Mexicans are saying, they're saying, okay, then you do that, we'll try and hang on as much as we can. But we have got pace to burn up front. Hernandez, we know, has got plenty of it. Jimenez has shown that he's got plenty of it. And Leun, well, he's still on the park as well. By looking up front there, and I think Hernandez, he's beginning to suffer a little bit just now. Just holding there as if he's got a little bit of a strain on his calf.
I wouldn't expect you to comment on this with your Scottish allegiance, but when you worked out ahead of the game that there wasn't a European side yet to lose in this World Cup, the superstitious part of me thinking, oh no, that could be England tomorrow against Tunisia. But it may well be the World Cup holders here in Germany.
I didn't think it was Germany, I'll be honest with you. I didn't think there was any chance, but I'm not even thinking they're going to lose yet, because they've got so much possession. They're going to get a few chances between now and the end of the game. That's a certainty.
Plattenhardt with a cross, left-hand side, curling away, 6 yards out. Good header away by Gallardo, fired in by Ozil, cannons away, and then it's just confidently played out by Marquez towards that far side, towards Jimenez, and it will go in favour of Mexico for a throw. And of course we talk about England, opening game tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have your company, 7 o'clock kickoff against Tunisia, and we'll be hearing from Caroline Barker, the latest from the England camp, as we focus on Gareth Southgate's opener between 6 and 7. And that's before our next World Cup commentary in Group E. Brazil against Switzerland, where earlier in that group, Costa Rica 0, Serbia 1. But this is Group F.
Okay, they've got big problems now. Mexico, they brought all their defenders on, and so they're going to just sit back. The thing is, the Germans have realised that. They've taken another defender off in Plattenhardt and put Mario Gomez off front. So, I said before, there's going to be chances. Well, there's definitely going to be chances, and now there's more strikers on board. And Gomez is a good scorer and also a big man to go and try and find up front. Real pressure for the Mexicans now.
Real pressure indeed. He's a player who's been written off in his career. There was question marks over Germany as the ball is clipped in by Kroos. And we thought, no, they'll be all right. They're always all right, the Germans. But maybe those questions and that scrutiny will grow if they were to lose their opening game here in the Luzhniki Stadium. And they have 10 minutes to try and salvage something on BBC Radio 5 Live. As Mexico forward. Jimenez midway through the Germany half. Foul by Boateng. No, says the referee. And that's not gone down well with the Mexican supporters. Draxler. They've brought in the attacking reinforcements. They're now piling on the pressure. Ozil to Müller. Müller clips over the cross. Cleared away by Ayala. Break for Mexico. It's 3 against 2. León could be free here if he can play him in. He's got León to the right. Hernandez to the left. And he couldn't pick out any of them. Carried forward now by Marquez. Out to León, who just stands still. Green shirts, white shorts, playing from left to right. What a thrilling game this has been.
Yeah, he's got to find them there, haven't you? You're saying to yourself, you must just pass it wide to León. And once again, the complaint I was making in the first half, that final pass, when it is on, they don't seem to have the ability to make it often enough. And once again, they lose it. But on this occasion, it was León's fault. He should have gone wider and made it an easier pass.
So Germany have Gomez, they have Werner, they have Draxler, they have Royce, Müller. They've been the top scorers for the last 3 World Cups, but at the minute they're still not firing. As Gallardo will break forward from left back. Gallardo's got pace. Gallardo coming forward, picks out León. He gets it in range and drills the ball wide. Right-footed on the rise, off target, goal kick. Mexico still can't find that elusive second goal, Pat.
Yeah, and how often have you watched Germany over the years get a late goal and you're thinking to yourself, you need that goal. They've had so many opportunities now to get 1-1 with the goalkeeper, the Mexicans, and they just can't get that extra goal. A goal that they have deserved over the pace of the game, and you can see the Germans come up at the end, and here they come again.
It's a gripping game in the Luzhniki. Germany the holders 0, Mexico 1. They've got Sweden in Sochi on Saturday night, and they will finish off against South Korea in Kazan. You never want to lose your opening game. They could be behind the 8 ball. Could the holders Germany, but they're still knocking on the door. There's some tired legs out there for Mexico. That Lozano goal in the first half. Müller scored 5 goals in his last 2 World Cup campaigns. Can't find a way through. Was there a foul there by Müller? He pleads his innocence. He might be getting a yellow card, and indeed he is.
Yes. To be fair, I'd watch this game again now. I don't know if it is utter naivety from the German defence or the fact that they've just thrown caution to the wind completely. But on this occasion, Boateng goes 20 yards into the opposition half and leaves Hernandez on his own with 20 yards of space. All he needs is any green shirt to turn them round and thump the ball aimlessly, and Hernandez was through 1-1 with the goalkeeper. It's extraordinary naivety. I know there's 10 minutes to go in the game. That's plenty of time to get a goal back. I'm amazed the way the Germans are playing this, throwing such caution to the wind.
Herrera takes the ball to feet, turns, Hernandez lays it out to Jimenez. León's forward, Hernandez makes the run through the middle. Herrera back towards Jimenez, keeping the ball to the delight of the Mexican supporters. Jimenez once again, now the Olays once again inside this stadium. Oh, they've lost the ball. Boateng plays it forward. Werner had made the run, carried on now by Gomez. He's onside. Werner makes the run, left-hand side of the penalty area. Draxler provides support. Infield. Here is Kroos, edging his way towards the penalty area. Kroos with a shot, spilled by the goalkeeper. No German player to follow up. Ochoa with the save.
To be fair, the pace this game's been played at, and it's a long game, if you know what I mean. It's one end to the other. The exhaustion of some of these players is incredible. By the way, the referee, get your yellow card out right this second. There's not even a slight doubt for Hummels.
That was a late challenge on the substitute Alvarez, and he's quite rightly shown a yellow card. is Mats Hummels. That was a poor challenge in his desperation to win the ball back. Hernandez has just been getting some last bit of advice from Juan Carlos Osorio down on the bench below. Just over 6 minutes remaining. The Mexican supporters are trying to do their bit to see them over the line. It's going to be an agonising wait for Mexico to see if they can get this victory, what would be a first competitive victory over Germany.
It's absolutely extraordinary, and just that moment when Hummels takes him out there, that's exactly what you want if you're Mexico. Gives you a little bit of chance to breathe, deep breath for about a minute there. You can get the ball long, get yourself organised again. They would have been delighted by that. Hummels, I think it was sheer stupidity, because there wasn't any real danger at that point in time for a change.
That's the voice of Pat Nevin. 5 minutes of normal time remain. There have been a number of substitutions. I reckon we're looking at 3-4 minutes of added on time to be applied by the Iranian referee. Germany are coming forward once again. Royce, far side. Ozil, 30 yards out from goal. Left-footed ball, chipped in towards the penalty area. Might come towards Werner, takes it a touch outside the penalty box. Headed away then by Ayala. Quickly retreats back to his central defensive area. It's a Mexican wall that doesn't want to be breached. Up towards Gomez, he makes a run underneath it. Werner will make the run to collect the ball, but it runs away from him and out of play for a Mexican throw.
Yes, a Mexican throw, but it's in the worst place imaginable for Mexico. It's right by the corner flag. The referee's saying get on with it, then he's changed his mind because the final substitution, all 6 substitutions are going to be made now.
Julian Brandt is the player who's going to be coming on. It's Werner who's come off. This is the player who was selected and chosen ahead of Leroy Sané for Bayer Leverkusen. He's had an excellent season. They require the blonde-haired midfielder to conjure up something in the dying stages of this terrific game of football.
Once again, Boateng for the umpteenth time has come straight through the back of Hernandez, but no one's got back, and away they go on the left-hand side again.
Mexico are on the attack. Jimenez is ahead of Gallardo. The left back takes it all the way around the back, works over the cross, drifts out of play. Goal kick.
Do you know what? Every other team just about, professional team gets the ball there, heads for the corner. Slow the game down, kill it. You're in the 86th minute. The rest of your team are exhausted. What does he try and do? The outrageous chip from wide. Well, it's lovely to see, but I'm not sure it's the most intelligent thing to do at this point in time.
So Brandt's taken up a position left-hand side. Draxler's in field alongside Gomez. Muller's also there. Royce is playing on the right-hand side. They have options in terms of their white shirts as Royce comes in now. Ozil back out towards Kimmich. Kimmich with the cross. Right-hand side. Gomez with a header. It's off target. Goal kick. Good chance.
You could just see him coming, and Mario Gomez at the back post there. The ball just wasn't good enough on this occasion. The defender got in front of him. Had the ball been just a yard further towards the goalkeeper, Gomez had an easy trap in there. I was going to try to explain the tactics and the systems that are out there, but there aren't any. They're just all over the place. It's just, we'll have a go at you, then every time that Germany have a go, there's a little bit of a break on from Mexico, and here's another one of those breaks.
The Mexican flags are being waved in front of those in green. A beach ball is being knocked around inside the end away to our left-hand side by the odd green shirts that are smattered in amongst where the majority of the German support is. They're not surprised to being it knocked back towards them. The Germans are in no mood to party. They have 2 minutes of normal time remaining, and they are facing defeat. The World Cup holders here in the Luzhniki Stadium. Ochoa, the goalkeeper, goes long, flicks on, up towards Leun, holds on to the ball. Alvarez now over the halfway line. A very tired Hernandez on this occasion apologises with an outstretched left hand. He's not going to chase that one. They're quick to retreat.
Just a bit of a shame though, if he puts a little bit of a chip on that, but his backspin, which he could have done there, I think Hernandez could have got onto the end of taken to the corner. Now they're under pressure yet again.
Brandt inside to Royce. Royce looks for a low ball. Little flick. Gomez works the ball back in towards the penalty area. Germany looking to try and get there. Brandt! Oh, whistles wide. Struck it first time right-footed. Just under 25 yards out from goal. I'm not too sure that the Mexican goalkeeper Ochoa would have got to that one.
We're in utter agreement there. There was no chance. What a hit that was. They're living so dangerously now, the Mexicans. No, he wasn't getting to that. I think he may have hit the outside of the post.
It kissed In fact, no, it didn't kiss. It rattled the outside of the left-hand post. The Mexican supporters know that they are close. Inside the last 60 seconds of normal time.
You know, oddly enough, we have some great World Cups. Maybe we're slightly biased because we've seen two games, and by the way, the two utter crackers that we've seen. And on top of that, Spain-Portugal. This could be a classic World Cup if it keeps on going like this.
Herrera's just been booked for Mexico, by the way. Germany are attacking. Brandt with a cross, they're queuing up in the middle. Kimmich will collect it right-hand side. They are camped outside the Mexican half. Boateng fires it in low. Ochoa makes the save. He dives on the ball. He stays in position low down before slowly getting him back to his feet.
That's a poor decision there for Boateng there. Massive amount of space in front of him there. And he can walk forward with it, or he'll try and find one of these attackers. In only 3 minutes. I'm stunned by that.
I thought there might have been a shade more. I agree with you, Pat. Boateng, we're into the 3 minutes of added on time. There is a real buzz around the Luzhniki here in Moscow. 5 Live. Brandt to Boateng. Every outfield player is in the last third of the field. Kimmich can't chip the ball over Herrera. Kimmich will run out towards the right-hand side to gather it. There is a line of white inside the penalty area just wanting the ball to be played, but Mexico are working so hard to close Germany down. They can't work over the cross. Neuer's inside the centre circle.
He wants to come up front.
Here is Kroos. Still, Mexico works so hard off the ball. Hernandez is dead on his feet. Germany are being patient. 2 minutes of added on time remain. Mexico lead by a goal to nil. Royce, right corner of the area. Here is Ozil. It's laid off. It's into the penalty area. They can't pick out Draxler. And the cheers will tell you that Ochoa has dived onto the ball. Take your time.
That was incredible, that. And that's 2 or 3 times at the end of the game here. They've got themselves into great positions, and you think they're going to play that killer pass. And they've been bad decisions, poor decision-making. Well done for the Mexicans, making sure. Oh, they almost broke again there. Time and again, Kimmich against Jimenez. Kimmich has gone down there. He's lucky to get a free kick. I don't think there's much in that there. If the referee decides not to give that, he's away. Jimenez completely on his own. As it is, once again, the Germans are going to come. Surprise, surprise.
We're about to enter the last 60 seconds of added on time. Boateng launches the ball out towards the right-hand side. Müller with the cross. Alvarez heads it behind for a corner kick.
Neuer's going to come up. If there's a corner kick, Neuer's desperate to get up there. He's walking, he's taking his time. He's thinking about it because he wonders whether the referee's actually given a corner kick.
Kimmich's actually saying to Neuer, you go forward, I will cover. Well, is there to be late drama? We're inside the last 60 seconds. Germany have a corner kick on this near side the left, playing from right to left, trailing by a goal to nil. Corner comes in now, aimed towards Neuer, tries to get an outstretched leg towards it, runs away, and out for a Germany throw.
And Neuer staying up, he's not going back. He's good plays an outfield player. He's good enough to do it.
Kimmich pumps it long from the halfway line. Ochoa gathers the ball, falls to the floor. The Mexican supporters celebrate. Time is almost up. They're looking, they're pleading with the referee. Rafael Marquez at 39 years of age, he's pleading with the referee to blow his whistle. The Mexicans are ready to celebrate. It's another story here in Moscow. Premature celebrations from the Mexican fans. Germany have a free kick short of the halfway line. Time is up by my watch. There it is. Mexico have done it. And the World Cup holders Germany have been beaten. And it's the first time since 1982 that Germany have lost an opening game to a World Cup finals. Mexico celebrate, wild celebrations. They were the better side in the first half. They had to dig deep in the second. Oh, the celebrations will continue long into the night. But Germany, the defending champions, will come under real scrutiny. Pat Nevin.
Absolutely phenomenal to have been in this stadium. It was brilliant atmosphere, even from before the start of the game. But the way this game unfolded was incredible. So massively impressed by the Mexicans. And give them their due. They played 2 or 3 different types of game of football throughout this. And the manager to make these changes, halfway through the second half, he decided to sit a little bit deeper, but still brave enough to leave enough players on to break. They probably should have scored 3, 4, 5 goals on the break. They didn't. They had to hang in there, and there's bodies all over the place. We talked about last night, the Iceland players almost taking it in their stride. They got 1 point against Argentina. Well, the Mexicans ain't taking it in their stride. They are celebrating this, and rightly so.
Kelly, joyous scenes inside the Luzhniki Stadium. Javier Hernandez is in tears, and still the wild celebrations all around us here are continuing. What a story! Germany 0, Mexico 1.